There's a lot of videos out there telling you one way or the other way is the correct way. So today we're here at a new park, new within the last couple of years. I haven't been out here yet. This is along the Susquehanna River here in Susquehanna, Pennsylvania. It's only about 20 minutes from my house. I haven't been out here since they built the park. This used to just be kind of nothing. But I'm gonna walk around the area today, see if I see any compositions. I'm not taking my camera with me, so it's purely a scouting trip. And we're gonna talk to the camera today, and I'm gonna talk to you guys about the problem with people going back and forth between you have to do it this way or you should do it this way. There's always middle ground. So let's talk about that. So we're gonna turn you around so you can see what I'm seeing. So you can see the parking area is underneath the bridge that goes up over top and over the river. So interesting use of that area. I set it for a parking area. So I kind of like that. So looks like they have a story walk, and this is the end of it, so I'm going the wrong way. Story walk. We hope you enjoyed your walk. Be sure to stop back soon for new stories to enjoy. Interesting. So you can see the river down here. There's been a lot of rain and a lot of winter melt off, so it's flowing pretty good right now. But we're just gonna walk. We're gonna keep our eyes open for any compositions. And let's talk about this. I shot a video a little while back there talking about how if you're a beginner, I feel you should learn the exposure triangle and shoot in full manual mode. But yet there's other videos out there claiming the opposite, saying if you're a beginner, you should bypass all that and just shoot in one of the automatic modes. I can see the point to both sides of the story. So the reason they say just shoot in automatic is because you really don't have to worry about it. You can let your camera take care of the guesswork and get you the exposure you're looking for. However, the reason I say you should learn to shoot in manual first before you move to the semi-automatic modes is because to shoot in manual, you really have to learn the exposure triangle. Shooting in manual gives you exposure to adjusting the shutter, adjusting your aperture, adjusting the ISO, and doing those in a combination that will get the results that you're looking for. You work with that for a bit. You learn to understand how each of those work together, and you get good at setting the settings that you need for the specific circumstances that will allow you to fully understand the light and how to work with it and how to work with your scene, how to work with the settings and the environment and the light you have to deal with. And ultimately, you'll understand it a lot better. At that point, it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and use an automatic mode when the situation allows. For example, if you need to be quick to react, say you're doing wildlife photography and you need to be able to be quick to react, you can set, I don't know, shutter speed priority. Because you know you're wanting to catch a bird in flight, you could just set that shutter speed priority and then adjust the aperture, let the camera adjust your ISO as needed for where the bird is flying in order to get the shot you're looking for. So there's a time and a place for both. It's not one way or the other. It's just what fits you under your circumstances. I feel that for a beginner that hasn't learned the exposure triangle, going manual mode is the best bet. Just turning around, looking behind me. Oh, there's a couple geese over there. You probably won't even be able to see them from here, maybe. Just sitting there in the field. There's a nice lone tree there. I've been paying so much attention to filming the video here that I haven't been really looking around much. Let's go see what's over here. I'm going to come back this way just a hair. I noticed this fence over here got completely torn up. I'm assuming from winter storms, probably caused some limbs to fall and completely tore up this brand new fence here. There's whole sections that are gone. Some sections are bent like that one there. I hear a lot of birds in the trees. There goes one. All right, so back to my conversation. Another point people commonly argue back and forth is you should shoot RAW or you should shoot JPEG because it's easier and you don't have to worry about the post workflow. There's arguments to both sides of it. There's arguments to both sides of it. If you want to absolutely be able to edit your colors and edit, hold on. Okay, the screen went blank for some reason. So if you want full control to be able to adjust your colors, your white balance, and do as much post-processing as possible, you really want to shoot RAW. If you need to get your pictures out quick, say you're a sports photographer working for a company and you need to get the pictures out quick, shoot RAW. Just make sure you nail in that exposure right. You know, so I've shot RAW for certain things because I didn't want to have to take the time to process the images afterwards because I wanted to use them right away. So there's a time and a place for both, and it's really a personal preference. But it's important to understand why for both sides of the coin. That way you can select the best option based on your needs. And your options may change back and forth just like mine do. Sometimes I'll shoot auto mode. Other times I'll shoot manual mode. I typically will shoot manual mode though, just so I have more control over what the camera's doing. Another argument we see all the time is full frame versus crop sensor cameras. You know, all the cameras are fully capable. So you just need to weigh the pros and cons of the different types of systems as to what you're looking for. Hey, that's a nice shot. Let's take a look at this. Look at that building. That's an old railroad station. I've never been out here, so I haven't seen this side of the building before. That's nice. Clean up those weeds in the trees a little bit and could potentially get a decent shot here, but as it is right now, not too great. So yeah, I mean, full frame cameras, they're typically a little bit heavier, whereas your crop sensors can be quite a bit lighter, especially when you take into account the lenses, the size and weight of the lenses. I kind of want to go into a crop sensor camera, but I don't want to spend the money to change. I've been with Canon since I started. I just don't want to have to go through the hassle of changing to a whole new system. Now, if someone wanted to send me something, I'd be more than happy to try it out. That might convince me to change. I'd love to try the OM Systems OM5 Mark II. That's a micro four thirds sensor camera that has a lot of capability, and I've noticed lately a lot of people using that system. But I'm not going to go through the expense to try it out. So I'm going to stick with what I have. It works perfectly fine. There's no reason to change. So really just a short video today. That's what I wanted to talk about, was just when you hear people saying that you should do it this way or you should do it that way, and you see people arguing both sides of it, it's because they're looking at it from a different angle. And you need to learn to just take in both sides of the argument and figure out which side works best for you during different situations. So let's continue this walk. Don't forget to stop, look behind you, and see what's there. We'll see some of this view on our way back. I'm glad the rain slowed down a little bit. I was scared I'd be soaking wet out here. Hey, there's a goose over there all by himself. I'm sure he's gonna scoot away from me as I approach him. Or maybe he'll chase me. I don't know. I like the curved path. Oh, there's two of them there. This could be interesting in the autumn. Get leaves on these trees here. Get a nice shot of that building. Could be interesting. Early morning with some light, maybe some fog. Hello, goose. Hello, goose. I hear ya. I hear ya. Yeah. By the way, I've realized that I've probably shot, 8 videos or something like that now. I have yet to introduce myself, so let me do that now. My name is Noel Biesecker. I'm a hobbyist, photographer, landscape and wildlife. I live in Northeast Pennsylvania. I've been in IT by trade for about 35 years. I plan to retire sometime soon, but I have yet to know when that will be. Retire from IT, that is. For the last, 14 years, photography has become my hobby and what I try to spend all my extra time doing. But of course, I own a house, I have a wife, so those two things alone keep me plenty busy. And I have one daughter, and she went to college and she moved out and she's on her own now. So I enjoy helping to support her. And so yeah, I just spend my extra time doing photography. I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I've been wanting to start it for about 10 years now. And spent a lot of time thinking about it. Wish I had done it sooner. Rain's starting to come down a little heavier, but it's getting lighter. All right, I'm gonna walk a little bit. I'm gonna turn the camera off. We're gonna see if we can see anything, and I'll bring you back. if I find something. Get some water on the lens. Rain really started coming down good. Sorry about that. All right, so for those of you that are subscribed, I apologize for not getting a video out this past Wednesday. I was sick last weekend and really didn't feel like getting up and doing anything. So I got absolutely nothing done last weekend. And this weekend, it's been somewhat of a washout. I was gonna get out yesterday and film something, but it was colder than it was supposed to be, and I wasn't gonna go out in the cold. Today it's a little warmer, but the rain came in, so it is what it is at this point. There wasn't much down at the far end of the park, down that way. I know that down that way, there is a railroad trestle that crosses over top of the river. I feel like it would make a great image, but I don't see a spot to capture that image right now. So maybe I'll investigate further at another point. A lot of low clouds moving in. About 5 minutes up the road, there's the Susquehanna, no, not the Susquehanna, what is it called? There's a viaduct, a railroad bridge that goes over a valley. I've never found a good shot of it. I thought about finding a spot on the hills on the opposite side over this way that are across the river from where the bridge is at, to see if I could find a good shot, but it's all private farmland up there. And it would have to be the perfect conditions to make it worth going up there to do that. Even then, I'm not sure if it would be a good shot. There was a historic image of that railroad track from this same side, from the side of a hill. I have yet to figure out exactly where the old image was taken from. It was an old black and white from probably back in the 40s or 30s. But I have a feeling all the trees are grown up much taller than they used to be and much more full. And so I don't think that shot is still possible. Maybe with a drone. Smells like someone's burning a fire. That's quite the fallen, broken tree there. Looks like it fell down on itself and caught itself. Unless it was the neighboring tree that fell onto that one. I'm just rambling at this point. Enjoying a walk through the park in the rain. I need to get out and do some more wildlife. I really struggle with my wildlife photography because the majority of my images I have are from driving my car. Because every time I've gone out and sat somewhere waiting for wildlife to come to me, it never happens. Every time I go hiking, specifically with my wildlife lens, looking for wildlife, I struggle to find any. Well, I think this just about wraps up this video for this week. Thank you all for joining me. Hope you got something out of this. Consider subscribing if you'd like more insights on landscape and wildlife photography. And we'll see you on the next one.